So I've got a really basic river type set up here. So you can see I've got a emitter there, and it's just pushing particles along this like sort of riverbed geometry I've made. So what if we wanted to set an initial state for this? So say I wanted this frame 49 as our initial state. Easily done. So you just do a file cache node and plug it into the first slot of the flip solver, and I'm just going to name this initial state, and I'll call it initial state 2 just because I've done this before. And then on this node, you just want to change the base name on this little arrow here, do it to node name, so it's going to call the file whatever you've named there. And then I'm also just going to click single frame and untick time dependent cache, so we're just getting a single frame now. So we're on frame 49, we'll click save to disk. So that's saved that frame 49 to disk, and we just need to plug that into the fourth slot of the flip solver, the boundary flow. And then when we go back and press play, you can see it's starting from there now, so that's perfect. The only got you here is if we turn off the flip boundary, so our original source for the particles, you'll see it is constantly spawning new particles in that in the area of our initial state. And obviously sometimes we don't want that, we just want it to push them out from that initial frame and then stop. So if we want to set that up, it's dead easy, we just use a switch. So if we just add a switch down and plug our file cache into the first section of the switch, and then I'm just going to get a blank null, and I'm going to plug that into slot 2 of the switch. So basically we just need to set up an expression on this switch now. So we'll say $F for frame, and then we'll say if it's more than 1, it's going to make the switch. So if we click on this now, you can see it's at 0 because we're on frame 1. That means it's at 0 on the switch. And then as soon as we go past frame 1, let me go back on the switch so you can see. So if you look there, it's at 0. If we go ahead, you can see the switch is switched from 0 to 1. So if we just plug the switch into the fourth slot instead of just our file cache, and we'll move all these off to the side and we can group them, and we'll just say initial state. Sweet. So that is all set up, and if we look now, it'll just emit from the first frame and stop because we made our switch. And obviously we might want to turn our boundary back on now so it keeps sourcing new particles. But yeah, we've got our initial state. Happy days.